So today is May the 8th, yes. Basically each class is done a little bit of something different, but the same assignment. So it is May the 8th. I'm getting there. Okay. And it's not Monday, it is Wednesday. That is why I am shortening the assignment. Okay, so if you just want to stick with me, I'll go through all the parts that we're supposed to go through today, and talk about all the pieces and parts of the test, okay? Test is 30 questions, A, B, C, D type answers. I'm trying to think what else I could tell you. That's about it. I don't know. Okay, so starting out. We're not doing all these, so don't go too far ahead. Okay, we're going to do 1 through 5. And this section, we are talking what I call statistical and non-statistical questions. This is where statistical questions led to more than one answer. Non-statistical led to one answer. Okay. So, I'm trying. Here we go. Okay, so number 1. Who was the first president of the United States? Statistical or non? None. Sorry. Okay. Because it's only got one answer. Okay. Number 2. What are the admission prices to each of the state parks in Kentucky? Statistical. Because there would be different prices. Usually your larger parks charge a little bit more. Okay, number 3, what is the height of the tallest water slide at Wild Rides Water Park? Non-statistical, because even if we looked it up, it would only have one height. Just one answer. Okay, number 4, how much time do the students in my school spend on the internet each night? Statistical. Many students, many different numbers, and all that. Number 5, how many girls are in your class? None. It does lead to a number, but it's going to be one number. Okay, so that's just a little review. Any questions on statistics, non-statistical questions? Okay, so here we go. Now, I'm going to skip down. We're going to do 11, 12, and 13. Just 11, 12, and 13. Now, the directions say to find a mean or an average of the numbers. Round to the nearest tenth. Now, we got to go back. We got to remember finding the mean. Add it all up and divide by how many there are, right? And the way we used to try to remember this, I would say weird stuff like, teachers are mean, we average your grades. Okay? So, here I go. I'm going to try to show you what to do. Okay, so I would take all these numbers, okay, I got 101, and divide by however many numbers there are, which there are 8. And my answer is 12.625 on the calculator. Now, if they're asking us to round to the nearest tenth, that's what the direction said. Okay, our tenths column is this 6. We have to look at the number to the right of it to figure out what to do with the 6. If it's 5 or higher, we're going to round up. 4 or lower, stay the same. So, rounded number would be 12.6. That would be our final answer on that one. That is the mean of those numbers. Adding them up and dividing and rounding. Okay. On number 12, we're going to add them up. Okay, if I added correctly, I got 60. I'm dividing by 6 because there are 6 numbers. So it is 10. Okay, and then the last one. I got 87 when I added. Divide by 9. Okay. And I get this long number. Listen. It is repeating. It's 9.6 repeating. But if they're asking us to round, we need to take this 6, basically look over here at that 6. If it's 5 or higher, that number needs to go up. So my real answer, official, is 9.7. Okay. So, in case you don't remember to find the mean, you're going to add up all your numbers. Then divide by the amount of numbers you have. Just in case you're not remembering and you need to refresh. So to find the mean, we added up all the numbers and divided by the amount of numbers we had. Okay, moving on. Now, just kind of didn't do 14 and 15, that's fine. Okay, going down to the next part. Okay, we are going to find the mean, median, mode, and range. We're just going to do number 16. Okay, I'm going to do 16 on notebook paper just so I can kind of spread things out. Okay, I will tell you right now, there's one of these on the test that you got to find. In fact, I think there's 2 of them, mean, median, mode, and range. Hint, hint, you need the hint. Okay, so, starting out on number 16, I would take all the numbers, and I'm going to list them out in order from least to greatest. Listen, you really may miss this thing on the test if you don't do that part. So, let's start it out. I'm going to list them. There's a 4, 17, 19, 2 20s, making sure I got them all. Okay. Now, teacher wants mean, median, mode, and range. And I'm going to try to explain each one in case you've forgotten what they are. Okay. Mean. Teachers are mean. Haha. We add up all your grades, and we're going to divide by however many grades there are, or whatever there is. Okay. So, 4 plus 17 plus 19 plus 20 plus 20. I got 80 divided by 5. And yes, it... Oops. What did I do wrong? Wait a minute. I could have done something wrong.
That's right.
Is that right? Then, okay. You guys giving me answers, making me think I'm wrong. Yeah, it's 16. Okay. Okay, so, taking the numbers, I thought I was wrong, but I added them up. I get 80. Divide by 5, because there are 5 numbers, and yes, it is 16. Huh? Just 16. Huh? Listen, I don't mind questions. I just don't know what you're asking. I just added them up, and I got 80. divided by 5 is 16. Okay, median. Median is the middle of the numbers. If I start on, now they got to be in order from least to greatest. If you don't do that, I'm really scared you'll miss this one. Going in, middle number is 19. That is my median. Okay. Mode means most. Which one repeats the most? 20. Okay, range. Range is your largest minus your smallest. So, it is the 20. Yes, minus the 4. So, yes, it is 16. Okay. Just putting some notes out there in case you're not remembering. Mode means most. Okay, median's middle. Okay. It's been forever, but it's been in this 9 weeks since we did this stuff. We should still have notes and all that good stuff. So, okay, here we go. Moving on to the book. Okay, because we only did 16. I'm just kind of skipping ahead. Flip it over. Okay, so on the back. Now, this is probably where we do need to have a big refresher course on some of this. On the back, we're just going to do number 20, okay, on this one, or on this section. But we are going to find mean, median, mode, and range, LQ, UQ, IQR, and the MAD, the mean absolute deviation. Okay, I am going to add to it the word outlier and just talk about it when we get there because it's on the test. Okay, so when on this one, I'm doing it on paper. Here we go. Number 20. Okay, so step 1 on number 20 is I'm going to take them and put them in order from least to greatest. I'm going to spread them apart just a little bit in case I need to write around it. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Now, I'm going to start out by listing the first parts of what we wanted. Okay, give me a second. And then I'll do MAD in a minute when I know where it can fit. Okay. Right now, there's no telling. Oh, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and write outlier. It is not on the list, but there is a question about it. So, okay, so starting out. Mean. Here we go. For mean, we know we just want to add them all up and divide by however many there are.
14, 7, 1,
Okay, stop. Okay, it's 56 divided by
7.
Divided by 7 is 8. Multiplication tables, people. Okay, so it is 8. The mean is 8. Add it up, divide by 7. Okay, going into the median. They're in order from least to greatest. Median, okay, is that 8. Now make sure it's kind of like we need to box that thing off because you don't want to use it when you make your LQ and UQ. Okay. So mode means most. Which one repeats the most? 9. And remember, you can have more than one mode or no mode. Just throwing that out there. Okay, range. Largest number, which is 9, minus the smallest number, which is 6. So the answer is 3. Yes. Okay. Now, part that some of us just may need a refresher course is the LQ is called the lower quartile. It is the lower set of numbers below the median, and it is basically the median of those numbers. So, 7 is your LQ. It's been a while. I know, like, once I do one, everybody's like, oh, I get it. So, okay, UQ is upper numbers. Starting after the median, going down. That's what the U stands for right there. And the UQ is going in, is the middle 9. Okay. Now, IQR. R stands for range. Listen, range. The range up here stood for subtraction. So, it is your UQ, which is 9, minus your LQ, which is 7, so it is 2. Yes. Just trying to refresh brains in case we're forgetting. Now, outlier. Outlier is a number that sticks way out past the other numbers. So if in this list there was the number like 79 or 100, yes, those would be outliers. But this one has no outlier. No or none. I just wanted to refresh that because when you, on your test, there was, if you remember, there was a list of numbers and there were these arrows pointing to them. And you had to figure out, like, was it pointing to an LQ or a median or a outlier? Just kind of remember that. Okay. The last thing is MAD, mean absolute deviation. And this is usually where we really need a refresher course. Okay. Mean absolute deviation. Otherwise stands for MAD. Okay, now, to find the mean absolute deviation, there are a few steps, and yes, we gotta remember them, okay? Step 1 is, we list the data. Whatever numbers you got, we need to list them going down. So, let's start with that. There is a 6, there is a 7, an 8, and an 8, and all 3 9s. That is step 1. List the numbers. Step 2 is, it's all based around the mean. So we want to subtract whatever the mean is. Well, the mean is 8. So we're going to subtract 8 from each number. That's all you do. We're subtracting 8. Now, when we did this math, we did figure out that we're getting some negative numbers. But because of the word absolute or absolute value, if we got a negative, we changed it to a positive. So like 6 minus 8 is negative 2, but we change it to a 2 because of the word absolute. 7 minus 8 is negative 1, but we're going to change it to a 1. 8 minus 8, 8 minus 8, 9 minus 8, 9 minus 8, 9 minus 8. Now, the last step for mean absolute deviation is we're going to add up all those. We're going to find the mean of those numbers. So, if I add them all up, I get 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 6. But listen, y'all aren't dividing. Divide by however many numbers there are. 7. Okay, now we are getting some large weird number. Okay. It's officially not a big number, it's just long. Okay, so the MAD, if you just want to go out 3 digits, it's right there. Okay, mean absolute deviation. Gotta remember the steps. Add them all up and divide. Okay. On the next part, on the next part, there is a histogram or 2 on part of the test. And I'm wishing you would jump to 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. And we probably need a small refresher course of what the box and whisker different pieces and parts stand for. Okay? So, first, just labeling this thing up since it's been a while. Okay. The middle line stands for the what? Median. So that middle line, wherever it is, floating around in the box, is the median. Okay. This end of the box is the LQ. And that end of the box is the UQ. Okay. Now, the end of the whisker is the it makes the range. Shh. What is this?
The whisker.
It is the whisker. What does the number stand for, though? Like, we know it's a 55, but what is it in our data?
25.
The what? Kind of, yes. We're getting there in a minute. We're not on percents yet. It's 55, but, like, what is it? What is 55 in your data?
It's part of the range.
Lowest number. Guys, it's your lowest number. Because they may ask you that. Like, they may ask you, what's the lowest number? And this end is the highest number. They may ask you that. So, like, if you listed out all the data, you know it goes from a 55 to 100. You don't know what's in between it exactly. But you know those two. It's okay. It's okay. Okay, now, let's look at, the last part. Percentages. This was the second thing we did with this. A box and whisker represents 100% of your data. 100%. So, each whisker is what? 25%. So this whisker is 25%. That whisker is 25%. Doesn't matter how short or long, it's always 25%. And then this chunk of the box is 25%. And that chunk of the box is 25%. Once again, doesn't matter how short or fat they are, they're 25%. The reason I didn't do some of the other questions on this study guide is because the end of the box was the same as the median and things like that. So I just chose the one that looked most like the test. I'll put it that way. Okay, so let's look at it. Number 23. What score is the upper quartile? Stop. I need you listening if you want to make a good grade. 85. Thank you for the ones who are listening. Yes, 85. The UQ is 85. Okay, what is the range of the test scores? Okay, because we got to take, range means highest number, which we know it's 100, minus the lowest number, which is 55. And yes, it is 45 is the range. Okay. Number 25, what is the median? 75. Okay. Are we good? Huh? Okay, what percent of the data is between 70, but listen, percent of the data is between 70 and 85? 50%. You're wanting percents when they ask the percentages. What percent of the scores were between 85 and 100? 25%. Watch those questions, because it's on an A, B, C, or D type test. One of the answers may not be a percentage. Okay? Yes? Yeah, so that's why I got percentages there. Does that help? Okay, now the next part that we're going to talk about is this histogram. 28, 29, and 30. Now, I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to tell you, I know there's some questions on this. I've been investigating the test this morning. Histograms are just, they're all over the place. They're in companies, businesses, everywhere. We need to understand them. So, okay, we've got a histogram here on math test scores, how many students made the scores, and then these are the scores. Histograms being a chunk of whatever, so a chunk of grades. Okay, so looking at number 28, how many students have test scores higher than 70? Now, okay, but listen, that's higher than 70. Is that higher than 70?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. See, y'all are jumping on the first thing. Be careful. Higher than 70 means all these. So, yes, this one is a 12. That one is an 8. And this one is a 2. But it's all those together. So, yes, it is 22. 22 students all together have a 70 or higher than 70. Because you got to add all three together. Okay. How many students scored between 81 and 90? 81, look at the things, guys, and 90. No, listen. 81 to 90 is just this far. So it is 8. Do you see why, though, it's 8? Okay. And then 30, how many students scored less than 91? Okay, so less than 91 is all of them. Now, this one's 5. That one is 3. So that's 20 plus 8 is 28. Very good. Just trying to make sure. How many, just throwing this out there, how many kids score between 61 and 70? None. Make sure you understand that, just in case. Okay. The last thing I want to talk about real quick today is stem and leaf plots. But the problem is that the data we gave you is not real great on this stem and leaf plot. So I just want to kind of talk about it and change it for just a second. Okay. 4 stem and leaf plots. And I'm just kind of making this up as I go. Okay. Stem and leaves were created. There was a stem, and then the leaves, or the leaf, that went down the right side. Now, let's say you have a pile of numbers, not these, so we'll make them better. And first you would want to put them in order, from least to greatest. Okay? So let's say we had these numbers. Let's say we had a 14, a 16, a 21, a 24, a 32, and a 47. Okay. Our stem would be created from the tens place. Going, remember, from least to greatest going down. So we would need a 1 for a stem, a 2 for a stem, a 3 for a stem, and a 4 for a stem. Everybody good so far? Okay. Then the last thing was creating the leaf. The leaf is created from the number on the end. Okay, so since this is my 1, I need a 4 and a 6. For the 20s, I need a 21 and a 24 for that one and that one. For the 3, for the 30s, I need a 2. And for the 40s, a 7. The way this is tested is there's 4 stem and leaf plots, and you got to figure out which one is made correctly for the data. Be super picky. You want to make sure, like if it's got, what would you do if it had 2 16s? How many 6s should be here? 2. So you want to watch for that. What if there was one what if there was no 30 up here? What do you do over here in the stem and leaf?
Take the 3 out.
You put the 3. Do you put anything in the leaf? No. So if there was no 30s, because there's a 40, you have to list the 3, but you just wouldn't have anything on the leaf side. Okay? And then we did box and whisker up top, so we're good. Listen, tomorrow, this is the plan. I plan on doing some of these and some of the other questions and bring it back. That's basically the plan for tomorrow, and all the review will be done by Friday. Okay? Yes, we'll put the measurements on the board during the test. So, you got it. Good. Keep it.